Alright, so let's finish this little subtopic here. It would be on the open string here. Pretend this is your A. It's not, it's my F, but this is the A shape. I can't play the same pattern, so I've got two choices. One, play the long open card capo stack pattern, alright, which would start on the bottom string would be 5, because that, remember, the A starts on the 5th, because when you're playing an A, your open E is the 5th. And you instead of doing this thing where you're going up the S3S and then over to the S3L, etc., again and again, you play this longer pattern here that was derived from the 7L quad pattern that we made. We spoke about that too much in other lessons, so we're not going to do that right now. Just trust me, it's a pattern on its own. You don't have to look at it from where we derive the pattern. We don't use the only thing we use in the pattern that gets you to the patterns that it was derived from is the 5 and the 6. 5 and the 6 is here, so when you hit this 5 and 6, you can just pretend you're on the 5, 6, and go to the top of the S3L here. Okay, so you can substitute this whole pattern, this 5, 6, 5, 6, into this 5, 6. So you can go 2, 3, 4, this whole pattern, and then 7 R2, because you didn't lose anything with the 5, 6. Alright, so that's what I still haven't gotten through this yet. When you start an A here, you can't play this pattern. Now the other choice, instead of doing this long pattern, okay, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2. 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Whoops. Thank you. Instead of using the long pattern, you can do that. And for the pentatonic, oh gosh, it gets a little messy. Now we take out the 7s and the 4s, and we don't have that kind of step along. You know what I'm saying? You gotta leave some fingers out of that kind of, and it's... Alright, so then it would play like something like this. That is the A pentatonic on the long pattern. That you can't do that if there's a capo here or if that A is played from down here. But it's in the key A. Still haven't gotten to the point I wanted to make, and that is, man, this is a good coffee. They have good cups too, but that's homemade coffee, Caribbean coffee, in these cups. My wife brings these cups home. Anyway, I don't mean to sound like Rodney Dangerfield, So what it is we're not going to be able to get that A shape for the short pattern. But what does A go to in Caged? It goes to the G shape. Okay, so it's here. So you can just do the G shape. So let's do this is our mood setter, our chord. And then, sorry. Why did I want to do? That's your G shape there. Now, obviously, you want to do the long pattern. You know what I'm saying? But maybe it wouldn't be a bad idea because G, the A shape here and the G, you're going to bar this right here. You're sharing those three notes in caged. So, you know, that'll work. You play the next letter up. So unless it was
Hey, I thought you were gonna help me with that fee.
okay. My wife thought I was going to help her. I thought she was going to do it herself or wait. So I got lectured on it. All right. So what we got here is what I figured it out anyway. Is okay. You can go up to the next cage up, the next cage shape up for the. But it's better to actually just play the long pattern. Because if you start here on the 5 here, believe it or not, it takes you into the next cage shape. And that we already covered in one of the previous lessons, how the long pattern will actually take you it takes you out of the cage, halfway into the next cage up. So that works. That works. All right. So I wanted to get back to the subject matter for today's video lesson, and that is that we were looking at the Lydian and the Locrian. Okay, and I've made it a little easier here today because I've made the Lydian triad at least in large letters. All right, these are the starting letters. So Locrian would start on 7. And Locrian is actually Locrian encapsulates the Ionian, okay? Whereas the Lydian is encapsulated by the Phrygian. The Phrygian's a long one, okay? Now, I think I wrote it down here somewhere. All right, so this is one of the charts from the other day. We can move forward. Oh no, that was chart 49. Okay, so oh, here it is. Here it is. Sorry. About the encapsulate. Okay, so this E cross A cross C pentatonic means that Locrian is the C part. It's a C shape. 7, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 2. That's the Locrian pentatonic. If it did have a pentatonic, it doesn't really have a pentatonic, and neither does the Lydian. Doesn't have a pentatonic. But if you want to get the diatonic scale, modal scale of the Lydian and the Locrian, we've got caged already, right? C, A, G, E, D. But now we need B and F. And that will give us the full modal scales. One way to do it is to look at it this way. Say in the Locrian, we have 7R, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? That's like in the key of C, 7R, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the important thing to remember is these numbers are in terms of the root. So the actual half diminished triad root position would be 7, 2, and 4, right? Okay. So let's look at 7. We see we might see a shape to this. You know, there's not much of a shape to this. I wouldn't call it a particular shape except possibly a C shape, because it says right there it's a C shape of sorts, because it's moved over a little bit. That's why I call it a C minus shape. It's got that same C shape, but it's moved over a little bit. Now with the and the A shape, okay,